Super stoked that you're joining us here today for your yoga journey. If this practice feels good for you in your body, go ahead and hit that subscribe so you can join the family. Now, before we get into today's practice, we have some channel news. As many of y'all know, I just launched EYA, which is my online platform offering non-performative yoga journeys. Now, non-performative yoga is yoga that focuses on what feels good in your body and pays homage to the lineage of the practice of yoga, as opposed to focusing on fitness-based postures that really are all about what the pose is or what the practice looks like, as opposed to what it feels like. We have officially launched with our very first yoga journey, which is titled Starting Where You Are. It features 8 yoga videos that guide you through your body from crown to root in a way that feels familiar to cultivate a state of calm. I would love to have y'all join me on the EYA platform. Go ahead and click the link below to check it out, and definitely give us a follow at EYA Well on Instagram. Now let's go ahead and get into today's video. Today we are doing affirmations. So there's an affirmation that I recently stumbled upon, or that arrived to me in my meditation practice. And it was the phrase, ease is always available. As a Nigerian American woman and a black woman, society puts pressure on me to push myself. And I kind of put myself in this box of always trying to overperform. And as a result, I don't take the ease when it's available, and I create barriers when there are none. So in my meditation practice, that was really phenomenal to have that phrase come to me, to realize that ease is always available. To know that that's an option is truly transformational for me. So I wanted to share that affirmation with y'all today through today's flow. This is going to be a shorter flow that really focuses on getting into the hips and hamstring while weaving in that affirmation. Ease is always available. So you're going to hear it sprinkled throughout today's practice. You're not going to need any props unless you would like to add them. I will be adding 2 yoga blocks. If you'd like to do so, you can join me in that as well. Or you can add books. Books are great substitutes if you don't have yoga blocks. I'm going to go ahead and see you right back here on the mat in a hot second. Welcome back, fam. We are going to start standing, and we're going to start in a wide-legged stance to take up space, because ease is always available. I want you to start to notice when resistance comes to meet you in today's flow, particularly when you feel resistant to a pose. If it feels unsafe, definitely come out, but also notice what lives beyond the resistance. Is there another option available? Sometimes we tend to think that the only option that we have is to resist something, and there are other doors constantly available. So start to look at the other doors and notice the ease that's available in all of those places. We're going to start in a wide-legged stance, taking up space, right? And just kind of rock forward and back with your hips forward and back. See how you feel. And we're going to circle sweep the hands up and over. Exhale, hands are going to come to heart center. Draw the heels and toes out. Goddess squat. See how this feels? Circle sweep hands up and over. We'll do that twice more. Exhale, goddess squat. Make sure the knees track over the ankles. Inhale, circle sweep. Come back up. Exhale, goddess squat. Opening up through the womb. Inhale, circle sweep hands up. Exhale, hands come to the hips. Pivot the toes forward and lean forward with the heart. You might draw the toes in a little bit more, so you're a little pigeon-toed here. And then see how you feel. If the hamstrings are tight here, this is where you're going to grab your block or your book and just bring the earth to meet you. Or you can draw the hands down to the earth. We've got a few options here. We're just going to start to see how we feel. Wake up the hamstrings, rock forward and back. Forward and back. Forward and back. Take a few more rounds of breath here. We'll start by waking up the hamstrings before we get into the hips. 2 more breaths. Deep inhale in through the nostrils. Exhale out of the mouth, HJ. Deep inhale in through the nose. Exhale out of the mouth, HJ. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, micro bend the knees, circle sweep hands up and over. And then exhale, hands come to the hips. Let's pivot the toes to the back side of the mat. So right toes pivot to the back side and coming into a lunge. So you're gonna pivot and come onto the ball of your left toe. Lower your hands to your block here or to the earth. Lift the heart forward into a lunge. And exhale, lengthen out that right leg. Inhale, let's come to a lunge. Exhale, lengthen out that right leg. You want to make sure the right knee is not coming over beyond the ankle. Inhale, lunge. Just creating some mobility here. Exhale, lengthen out the right leg. Inhale, come back into your lunge. Lengthen out this right leg and drop your left heel, coming into a pyramid pose. So if you're on a clock, your toes, your right toes, are facing noon and your left toes are pointing at 10 or 11 o'clock. You might draw your right hand to your right hip and pull the hip back. Draw the heart forward, nice and long. Remember, you can always use these blocks to bring the earth to meet you. The lower the hands are to the earth, the deeper of a stretch you're asking of your hamstring. Make sure the left hip bone is drawn forward. Got a little sniffles here, y'all. Ooh, excuse me. Lift the heart. Exhale, bow forward. We'll let the hamstrings be long here. Sorry about that, y'all. It is allergy season here. And feel that space you're creating in the back side of your muscle. And notice ease is always available here. And ease does not have to mean going deeper. It can be, or it can mean moving out of the posture. Take one more breath here. Inhale, bend the knee. Backpack the hands onto the right knee. Lift up, come on the ball of your back left toe, so you're coming into a lunge, and then hands come high. Won't be here too long. Open it up, star pose, coming right back to star. Exhale, hands to the hips. Let's pivot and lunge to opposite side. Pivot the left toes to the front side of the mat. And you can move your blocks here if you like to the front side. Pivot and lunge onto your ball of your right toe. And come to a lunge here. Left knee over the ankle. Shift the hips forward, heart forward, nice and long. Exhale, let's lengthen out that left knee, nice and yummy. Getting into the back side of the body. Inhale, heart leads. Mobilizing through the hips, feeling the squishiness of the hips in the womb. Remember, the ease is always available. Ease is soft, it's not hard. Exhale, lengthen out that left leg. Once more, bend the knee. Heart leads, sinking into the hips, but really finding alignment here. So not drawing the left knee over the ankle. Exhale, lengthen out that left leg, nice and long. Inhale, let's bend the left knee. You might step your right leg up about 1 inch or 2 and drop your right heel. Coming into pyramid pose. Pyramid pose, both legs are lengthened out, so I'm in a lunge right now. I'm going to lengthen out my left knee to come into pyramid. My left toes are at noon, my right toes are at 2 o'clock, and I'm inviting my right hip bone forward, so I'm not opening up here. My torso, my tummy is turned down. And I'm slowly bowing over my leg, inviting my knee towards my nose. They don't have to kiss, just to direct it. Remember, we're starting by waking up the hips. Ease is always available. Ease does not have to mean pushing forward. It can mean pushing your way or drawing your way out of a pose. So taking that performative nature out of the practice. 2 more breaths here. Final round of breath. Keep inviting that right hip bone forward for me, y'all. Inhale. Pivot on the ball of your back right toe. Bend your left knee. So you're coming almost into a lunge stance. Backpack the hands onto the left knee. Lift the heart. And when you're ready, lunge, hands come high. Grounding here through the feet. Let's open it up. Star pose. Pivot both toes forward. Arms wide. Taking up space. Ease is available. Feel yourself taking up space off and on your mat. Then exhale, goddess squat. Hands come to heart center, heels in, toes out, sink. Make sure your knees aren't buckling in. Pull those knees back. Inhale. 2 more. Circle sweep, hands up and over. Exhale, goddess. 1 more. Inhale, circle sweep, hands and over. Exhale, goddess. This time draw the hands onto the knees. Press the knees back and peel open through the hips. See how this feels. Let's rock left and right. Take a deep inhale. Let's drop the right shoulder, look over the left. Sink into those hips. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, drop the left shoulder, look over the right. Sink into the hips. Ease is always available. Either moving out of the posture or coming deeper. Find what feels safe for you. Inhale, come back to center. Lengthen the legs. Hands come high. Pivot the toes forward. Exhale, warrior 2, backside of the mat. Pivot the right toe to the backside of the mat. Bending your knee to your depth. Could be a 90-degree angle. You might be drawing yourself out to find that ease. Find what feels good for you. Arms long. Open hip posture. So an open groin, open womb. Backside of the left foot or blade of the left foot is parallel to the backside of the mat. Let's flip the palms up to the heavens. Find an energizing warrior 2. Inhale, lengthen out the right leg, hands come high. Exhale, pour it down, warrior 2. 2 more. Inhale, lift and energize. Exhale, ground and stabilize. 1 more. Energizing warrior 2, lift and energize. Exhale, ground and stabilize. Look over your right hand. Inhale, exalt your warrior. Right hand comes high, lengthening through the right side body. Find length first as opposed to a back bend. And then exhale. Side angle, right elbow inside of the knee. Left hand comes high. Option to draw the right hand on the knee if you like. Right? Find what feels good. Ease is always available. Slowly finding triangle pose, come back to warrior 2. Lengthen out your right leg. You might draw your left foot in a little bit more. You might position your block in front of your right foot for where we're going. Lengthen out your right knee and slowly extend the right hand forward. Make sure you're not dumping into the outer right heel or the inside of the arch of the right foot. Make sure the weight is evenly distributed and pull your right hand down. It might come to your shin or you might bring it to the block. Find what feels good for you. Left hand extends to the heavens, and we're twisting our torso. So take your left hand, glide it to your right side rib, and pull the rib forward as you look up to the heavens. So giving yourself a self-adjustment here, self-assist. Take a deep inhale. Fluid exhale. Inhale, bend the knee. Float it back up, warrior 2. Lengthen out the right leg, pivot the right toe in, hands come high, star pose. Exhale, warrior 2, opposite side, pivot the left toe to what could be considered front side of your mat. I honestly don't know. I'm in this living room, I'm not in yours, so you can decide if it's the front side, back side of your mat, but you're bending into your left knee. Remember, you can bend the knee deeply, 90-degree angle, or you might decide, that's not my ease today, I'm gonna come out. Right, so keeping the performative notion, a little fruit fly, out of the practice. Deepen into the knee if you prefer. Extend the arms, warrior 2, stabilizing, grounding through the womb. Grounding through the womb here. Let's find that energizing warrior 2, flip the palms. Lengthen out the left leg, hands come high. Energizing warrior 2, exhale, steady and ground, steady and ground. Inhale, energize, hands come high. Exhale, steady and ground. Inhale, energizing warrior 2. Exhale, steady and ground, steady and ground. Holding here for a breath. Exalt your warrior. Your left hand is going to trace up along the air. Right hand comes behind the back side of the thigh. And you're going to find length first, and then you might spill over to the back side of the mat. Exhale, side angle. Use the full breath to get here. Left elbow comes to kiss the inside of the knee. Right hand comes high, or left hand rests on the knee. Find what feels easeful to you. Remember, ease is always available, right? So when I want to find resistance, anger, frustration, any of those low frequency emotions, shame, guilt, ease is always available. It's an option. I can't see it, but it is there, right? So see how I can find it. Let me move beyond this roadblock, right? Eye gaze floats up to the heavens. Inhale, come back to warrior two. Exhale, triangle pose. Lengthen out the left leg. I always pivot my right toe in just an inch. And extend the left arm. Triangle pose. Left hand can come to the left shin. It could come to a block, right? So you don't want to drop too far down where you're here. You want to create space in your body. So here I'm closing my body because there's not enough space here for me. So let me go where I have space. Left hand on the shin. I'm going to take my right hand to my left rib. Pull gently my left rib forward. Find this twist. Right hand comes high. If you're double jointed, micro bend that left knee, right? So don't knock out the knee like so. Give grace to the joints. Ease is always available. One more breath here. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, lengthen it out. Star pose. Exhale, heels and toes out, goddess squat. Inhale, circle sweep, hands up and over. Exhale, hands to heart center, Anjali Mudra. And let's just find a Skandasana. Skandasana to the right, bending through the right knee, left leg long. Option, if it feels safe, to pick up the left toes, root the heel. Only if it feels safe. You can also drop the hands slowly. Skandasana, opposite side, ninja glide to the opposite side. Hands, heart center. Option to keep the right foot grounded, or you can lift it up. Skandasana. Opposite side, keep that right foot grounded, hands are on the inside of the knees, not behind. Try to stay lifted, the body's going to try to pull you forward. If there's no space, bring the earth to you. Drop the hands. You don't need to focus on putting that left toe up. You get no better benefits. Slide it to the opposite side. It's just an option. Just an option. Ease is always available. Don't force yourself to perform in a pose. One more breath. Slowly come out, come back to center. Wide-legged forward fold. Shift forward and back, hands rooted on the earth. And settle. And settle. And settle. And settle. Relaxing the heart down here. Continuing to hold. Final breath. Inhale, halfway lift. Heels and toes out. Backpack the hands gently onto the knees. Push the hands into the knees, lift up into this goddess variation. Sink the hips. Let's look over the left shoulder by dropping the right, sinking into the inner thighs. Inhale, come back to center, look over the right. Dropping the left shoulder. Inhale, come back to center, lengthen out the knees, circle sweep hands up and over. Exhale, hands come to the hips. Pivot the right toe in, left toe in, step into center. Let's just turn left side, so we're on the long edge, or facing the shorter edge of our mat. This time, circle sweep hands up and over. Exhale, fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. And step it back, high plank. And come straight into down dog, no vinyasa. Down dog, pedal out the knees. See how you feel now that you open up the hamstrings a little bit more. Keep the back of the heart nice and wide. And let's float the right heel high to the heavens. Keep the hip turned down and lunge. Step it through. Draw your shin down. Right knee comes behind the right wrist. Glide the left leg back. Option to position a pillow, bolster, blanket, or block all the B's underneath your hip here if you're feeling tight in this glute. Take a moment to stay lifted and get nice and long through your left front hip. Look back over your left shoulder and make sure that left knee isn't peeking out to the left, but make sure it's turned down towards the earth, and untuck your left toe. Now look over your right shoulder. Feel the gentle twist through the hip. Lift up long. Option to stay here if you want to simultaneously open up the front of the hip while you lengthen the back side. Or option 2 is to drop the forearms onto the earth or block. Find what feels good. Option 3 is full prostration, drawing the head, heart, and body down to the earth. We have 3 rounds of breath here. Try not to rock your body out to the right to run out of the pose. If the sensation feels like pain for you, I want you to come out of it. Remember, ease is always available. And constantly find that option for yourself, no matter the pose. Many a times this pose will feel a little bit uncomfortable. Discomfort doesn't always translate as harm, so if it doesn't feel harmful but it feels a little discomforting, a little bit heightened sensation, then maybe you might explore staying in a little bit deeper. Letting the body sink while you're relaxing the mouth and the jaw. Give yourself permission to soften. Find ease through your facial expressions. Find ease through the mouth. Find joy in the face without necessarily smiling, right? But just softening. One more round of breath here. On the inhale, let's plant the hands. Push the heart up, and we're going to tuck that back left toe while we bring the right leg high. And let's just take one big hip circle here. Invite the right foot down, and we'll switch sides. Float that left heel up, keep the hip turned down, and the left shin comes to the earth. The left knee comes right behind the left wrist, and we'll drag the right leg back long. Once again, you have the option: pillow, bolster, block, blanket underneath the left hip if you'd like additional support. If this bothers your left knee, invite your left foot closer to the groin. Now just take a moment to look over your right shoulder. Make sure your right knee is not poking out to the right, but turn it down underneath the body and untuck the back right toe. Root the hands and get long, and then look over the left shoulder, finding a subtle twist here. Option to come back to center. You might stay lifted here, and you're going to feel a long stretch on the front of the right thigh as well as the outer hip. Ease is always available. Option to stay here, or you might drop onto the forearms. Option 3 would be full prostration, arms lengthened, heart dropping. Now for me, the left side of my body, she needs to be remothered a little bit more tenderly because the space isn't there. So I'm going to stay on my forearms as opposed to finding that full prostration, right? So if there's a limitation here that goes beyond pain, then my ease is to stay where I am as opposed to pushing myself to perform beyond my own boundaries. We have our boundaries until we mature out of them, right? But I'm going to respect them as long as they're there. And continue to hold 2 more rounds of breath. Soften through the mouth and the jaw, and allow your body to receive the pleasure, the bliss, the samadhi of the posture. Final breath. And let's This time we'll slowly slink over to the left hip. And we'll glide our right leg forward. Both legs are going to come forward. And we'll root the hands behind us and just shake out the knees. From here, let's bend the knees and flip the palms up to the heavens as we slowly make our way down. Vertebra by vertebra. As soon as the back of the heart kisses the mat, let's hug the knees and rock left and right. 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 And we'll rock all the way to the right for a supine twist. We'll float our left hand out. We'll just find a gentle twist through the upper back. Try not to twist through the lumbar spine. Remembering ease is always available. Sometimes we think ease is only available when we're resting, but it's available whenever there's constant heightened frequency or movement or action. And it's always available in rest. It's available at any moment. We just need to move past or through the initial option that comes to us. Know that you have choice. Know that you have many doors to access other emotions when you need them. Inhale, come back to center. And then exhale, let's float it to the left side. And we'll open up through the right hand, really twisting through our upper back as opposed to the mid or low back, which those bones are very sensitive. They don't necessarily twist this way. They weren't made to twist, they're made to bend. So we want to be really gentle when we're coming into twists, that we're not forcing the lumbar spine to twist in a direction it wasn't made to move in. Remember, ease is always available. All we have to do is see that it's an option, and to know that it's an option and take it. Inhale, come back to center. Hug both knees back in. Rock left and right to settle. And settle. And settle. Exhale, Shavasana, final resting posture, extending the legs. Option to keep the knees bent if you have a sensitive low back, or you can extend the legs long. Option to extend the hands long, palms open face, or you can draw the hands on the womb here. Finding today's affirmation this morning, ease is always available. And as you move throughout the rest of your day today, knowing that it's an option for you, allow yourself to begin to walk in that option. And start to let ease become you as you soften through the shoulders and the glutes and the belly and the mouth and the jaw. Everywhere you tune up tension, feel the body give in to yourself. So you're just surrendering to self, surrendering to self, surrendering to self. Take a deep inhale in through the nostrils. And a fluid exhale out of the nose. Continue to inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose, keeping the breath long. begin to roll to the left or the right side into a fetal position. Making your way up to a seated position when you're ready. I invite you to close your practice with whatever hand mudra feels intuitive to you and showcases gratitude for our practice today. Traditionally, palms are drawn together in heart center, Anjali Mudra to seal. You can also find Lotus Mudra with your thumb and your pinky finger pressed together, but the other fingers are open wide like a lotus flower here. Let's take a deep inhale in through the nostrils. Exhale out of the mouth, H.A. We will each repeat one time. I've done my best. I leave the rest. Namaste, friend.